Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here, bringing you a look at the Star Wars The Black Series Marrok from the Ahsoka series. Who's Marrok? No one. Marrok's a green space fart. Yeah, we got a little misled on the show. However, Marrok is a really cool Inquisitor design. I do love the way that he has that worn out, kind of rusted Inquisitor armor. And despite the plot twist of him not actually being anyone, you guys built yourself up on that one. That was your fault. I really liked what he was there for. He was there to be a menacing bad guy. He did good, and I'm excited to add this one to the shelf. So let's get into the review and see if he's a worthy addition to the collection or not. Let's go ahead and get into Marrok's packaging here. So up top, he has the Black Series logo above a big window showing him and his accessory off nicely. It says Star Wars Ahsoka across the front in blue. Marrok warning 4+ Hasbro. This side of the box features some pretty cool artwork of the guy. I'm liking how that looks. This side of the box features your wraparound window, your wraparound blue stripe, and your Black Series logo down below. Around back, you have your Black Series logo again, a zoom-in picture of Marrok, his name, a bio in varying languages. It's not about him, but about the show. Underneath that, you see that he is number 8 in the Ahsoka line. You have a bunch of legal information here. You have the Disney and Hasbro logo. Down below, you have a barcode, more logos, more legal stuff, nothing to write home about. And up top, you have a hanger tab and a window that allows some light into the packaging. If you are the type of person that is an animal and leaves their figures in the box, it does make the figure pop a bit. That's not what I'm about. I like to open my toys. So let's go ahead and do that and see what we're getting here. Alrighty, here's Marrok out of the packaging. Let's go ahead and take a look at his accessories. He comes with an accessory, I should say, as in only one, not plural, like I said earlier, accessories. He comes with his double-bladed Inquisitor lightsaber with very nice red blades. They're not super dark, they're not too pale. They let a little bit of light come through. They seem to catch the light when posing, which is a bonus. And it has a nicely painted double-bladed hilt in there with the half ring. They didn't give us the full ring, the spinning ring, but that's okay. It does look pretty good for what it is. It's another unique sculpt. I will say they haven't cheaped on any of these Inquisitors. They have given us all unique hilts, which is nice. He has the removable blades functionality, and on one side of the hilt there's a skinny peg, and around back you have to pull his cloak down just to find that peg in the top center at the back. And like so, he is carrying his saber in storage, which is a pretty good look, but let's be fair. He is a big, scary-looking bad guy, and you would like him to be carrying his saber. So let's go ahead and take a look at the figure now. Now, there's some frustrations going on here, but there's also some new stuff. We're not all about the negativity. We're going to talk about it all. So Marrok here seems to have been hit by the concept art bug. It seems like Lucasfilm didn't give Hasbro final images, but there's things here that I think Hasbro probably should have just been able to tell. So the big thing is the rust effects. Marrok is wearing like rusted Inquisitor gear, which makes sense because at this point the Inquisitor program has long been wiped out. He seems to be like a lone survivor Inquisitor, and which is fine. But they have done him in a very light gray. I feel like it should be a lot darker, and the rust is very heavy on the edges. It was there. It was just a lot more subtle in the show, and it wasn't this big a color shift. Another thing that really is bugging the shit out of me, and I'm probably going to have to just fix, is on areas of the fabric, they have just hit it with like the spray paint mist, that same orange color. He has it around the knees and up the thighs, and it's just, this is just credit collection stuff. Now, I like the credit collection line, given that, you know, it's got that aesthetic of being based off of the end credit, you know, kind of fuzzy concept art, but this is not a credit collection figure. This is your main offering. You know, the credit collection is a nice little dessert, a nice little accessory, a nice little afterthought to the masterfully done mainline figure. But I mean, they've given him the credit collection treatment in mainline. I don't like that. I want him to be correct. Now, this figure probably can be saved. I will say I'm probably just going to end up repainting the black areas to cover up the orange overspray. And then everywhere else, I'm going to just give a bit of a dark wash to try and darken the armor plates and make the orange a little less noticeable. So yeah, he's gonna require some work, but ultimately, I just wish I didn't have to do it. I wish that Hasbro would have done it right. Again, I understand concept art a little bit, but they should have known that he doesn't have little flecks all over his entire fabric bodysuit. Like that's annoying. Another thing I'm not crazy about is his cape. Now it's soft goods and it actually lays very nice. It's a bit thin. It's very tattered on the bottom hem. I mean, it's not bad, but the way that he wears it is he basically just has this little like nylon ribbon strap like under his chin. And it just doesn't look great. I think something I'm going to do after doing the wash is I'm probably going to remove that ribbon strap. I'm just going to glue the fabrics down to the shoulder pads. I think that's going to be the way to go. So that's probably what's going to end up happening here. But I do kind of like the material. It's very thin, which makes it lay nice. It also lets a little bit of light through, so maybe it's not super duper ideal. But yeah, kind of just is what it is. Another thing I've seen, I believe it was Landspeeder Luke who suggested it, is you could just remove this and give him that like Din Djarin, like plastic cloak. That actually does look pretty good if you're not a soft goods guy, I will say. So looking through the design otherwise, I gotta say the sculpt is here. I really like this Inquisitor design. He's very knight-like. He has the kind of like slotted visor that like a round table Arthur knight would have. It looks really cool. I mean, obviously, Dave Filoni, he's a Lord of the Rings and medieval kind of fantasy guy. And he finally gave us a Knights of the Round Table Inquisitor. And it's just really cool looking. I do like it, even if under all that armor is just a green magic fart. But he looks very nice. I mean, it's the base here, the sculpt, everything is done very well. And for what it's worth, they did give us the orange on the back, which is nice. I mean, at least they painted something on the back of a figure for once, believe it or not. But yeah, all in all, it works pretty good. Now, that griping aside, there is something really fun here. And I can't believe it. So, back when the Ki-Adi-Mundi figure got announced, people were pointing out, I don't see any wrist hinges on him on the box. Maybe he has ball-jointed wrists, which I think Power Rangers and Fortnite figures have. I was skeptical because typically it seems like all the Hasbro design teams kind of do their own thing. But Marrok actually has ball-jointed wrists. And looking back at it, Hera does too. I didn't catch that on my review of her. You can pop these hands off, and there's literally a ball there. And there's a socket on the hand. I mean, that's awesome. I was just trying to figure out, does he have, vertical cuts, or does he have, horizontal cuts? He doesn't have cuts. He has a ball joint. I mean, he has up and down and in and out, and a good range on both. I mean, I wish he had more up and down. He can't really point his lightsaber. That might be a point of contention, but, it's kind of cool that he has a bit of both. Now, I will say, I still think the vertical hinge is the way to go on everything. But this is different. I don't know if I like it or if I'm just interested because it's different. I haven't quite made up my mind on that front. But that's cool. I mean, he has it on both sides. So, yeah, that's kind of neat. Let's run through the rest of the articulation. I will say that is basically it for new stuff. He has some other modern stuff like the double ball neck, which allows him to look that far up, that far down. He gets side to side and a bunch of pivot. He can come up to a T-pose where he has a good butterfly joint there. 360 shoulders. The shoulder pads are on that D ring or that ring inside the pin, so they rotate with him. He has single jointed elbows that go a little past 90 and swivel. 360 on the wrist, and again ball joint, so everywhere. He features a mid-torso ball joint, which allows him to crunch that far forward, that far back. You get a bunch of side to side and twist on him. He can kick his legs out, not quite to a splits, but that's not bad. His legs can go straight forward, not much back. There's no upper thigh cut. I like that. He has single jointed knees that rotate. The rotate eliminates the need for the thigh cut. The feet can point basically straight down, pretty far forward, and there's a forward-facing pin for rocker, allowing you to get him into some pretty decently wide stances with both feet flat on the ground. Let's go ahead and bring in some other figures for some size comparisons. Because he is a former Inquisitor, I will bring in the Grand Inquisitor, because I could see this guy fitting in on the Inquisitor shelf, very truthfully. So here he is. next to the Grand Inquisitor. Here he is next to Ahsoka from The Mandalorian, because I refused to buy the new one because it's unnecessary. Here is Sabine from the Ahsoka series. And here is Hera from the Ahsoka series. So all in all, he is the tallest of the bunch, even taller than the Grand Inquisitor by a whisker. I like that. I kind of like that he's a tall figure. I think it works for him looking all menacing and stuff. So yeah, all in all, I do like it. So, end of the day, what do I think of Marrok? You know, not Hasbro's best attempt. I think they went very heavy-handed on the rust, not dark enough on the plastic, the overspray, and I get it. Concept art, they're having to try and guess certain things. Overspray on the fabric, come on. Like that's bullshit. They knew that wasn't going to happen. But he's kind of a fun action figure. I'm having a good time posing him. I'm not super upset about certain things. Like, I'm going to give him a wash. I'm going to repaint the black fabric portions. And I'm going to modify the cloak a little bit. And he's going to be great. Now, you shouldn't have to do that to make him look good. And I'll openly say, he's not the most important villain in the Ahsoka series. He's not essential to the shelf. If you buy him for the shelf, he's not going to be at the front of the shelf. He's going to be behind, Balin and Shin. And that's appropriate. I feel that's accurate. But he's a fun action figure. And the ball joint wrists are weird. I'm having a good time posing him, not going to lie. So he's kind of an experience of sorts, I will just openly say. I like him. I recommend him. I think you'll have a good time with him. But I also understand if he's a pass. He's not accurate, and it's just what it is. But that's where I'm going to wrap things. So thanks for watching. It means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed, you should leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that end of video stuff. You should also check out the channel memberships. If you become a HTR superfan for 99 cents a month, you get your name in the end credits at the end of every video, which is super cool. So go check that out. Until then, I will catch you next time. So may the Force be with you, and I'll see you then. Bye.